Hey guys, Nick here. So this is part 2 of the conditional math or column expressions video. Had to cut the first one short because I was way too verbose as usual. But anyways, in the first video we went through step 1 to replace the values within a field that we knew is blatantly outrageous or not real. We replaced those values with a 0, as you can see in this table above. Alright, so very basics of conditional math using the column expressions node. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through steps 2 and take this table, and if there's a promotional rate available, we're going to calculate a promotional price. Otherwise, we're going to run with the MSRP price, or the regular price. And then after that, we're going to go to step 3, calculate the promo price if there's a promotional rate available and we have over 4 weeks of supply. Right? Logic being here that we don't want to promo a product where there's not enough week supply given a 4-week threshold. So we think more than 4 weeks is necessary to promo something, because if not, you'll run dry. You'll run out of weeks of inventory, basically. So anyways, let's get started. So we ran the first step in the previous video. We're going to take another column expressions node, hook it up, and within this one we'll go a bit more into detail with the column expressions node and the conditional math, where we're going to add now an if else, but then an if else with an and. So what we're going to do is within the window, I'm going to hit the plus to add an expression. So here we're not replacing any columns, right? Like step 1 says, we want a new column. So this new column we're going to call the promo price. Yeah, promo price. So I always put the column name in first, and then I go to the type. You always want to put in the type. And here we know it's a number and it's not an integer, so we're going to run with a double, right? So number double, but you've got all these options available for you, right? We're going to run with a number double. Remember, the expression column, that gets filled in whenever we add our syntax or our expression within the expression editor. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's hit OK and close that out. Bring up this table again. We're going to say if this promotional discount rate column is greater than 0, then we're going to take the MSRP price times 1 minus the promotional discount rate. Otherwise, we're just going to keep the MSRP or the regular price. Right? So we'll go back in. We're going to say again, you do an if. I only do the spaces because it helps me see things a little better. You don't have to do a space. You could run with like an if like that, I believe. Anyways, if, remember, hit the column button, and then you can double click the column to add it into the your expression or your syntax. So if we're going to say this MSRP is greater than 0, right? We'll close that if statement. Then we'll hit enter, tab. We're going to say if that's the case, then within squigglies give me this output. So the output will be, oh sorry, look at that, moving too quick. We don't want to run a promo price. We don't want to calculate the promo price if there is an MSRP greater than 0, because we always have an MSRP greater than 0, right? We're not telling it 0 for any item. Look at this. We're going to say if the promotional discount rate is greater than 0, then we're going to run the formula for the promo price. I'm sure you guys all caught that. I'm actually I've got a cup of some, not whiskey or wine this time, but some dry, extra dry champagne, that $5 bottle that's like real good. You know what I'm talking about? So that would explain that. But anyways, we're going to say if the promotional discount rate column is something other than 0, greater than 0, right? We're going to add in our formula for our promo price, which will be the MSRP times 1 minus that particular discount rate. So MSRP times 1 minus, and then we'll, in this space over here, we'll go to column and we'll do the promotional discount rate. So if the discount rate is 15%, effectively the promo price is the MSRP at 85%, right? So something cool within the expressions editor, just like in Excel, if you move over to the particular parentheses, it'll show you the opening or the closing, like the inverse of that parentheses. So you can see we're good, right? So now that we've got our formula set up for the promo price, if that condition is met, we've got to set up the alternate if it's not. If it's not met, we'll say else give us a particular output. So if there isn't a promo rate which would calculate our promo price, if that's not the case, then just give us the regular price. So we'll go back to promo, or the column, I'm sorry. We'll double click MSRP. So then our expression is effectively, if the promo rate is greater than 0, then calculate the MSRP times 1 minus the discount rate or the promo rate. Otherwise, give us the MSRP. You don't see any of the red squiggly lines as we discussed in the other video, or the previous video. So it means our syntax is good. If we hit evaluate, we get a 51. So what we can do now is hit apply, and then we can hit OK, and we can execute our node. And now let's look at the output, right? So now our columns of interest are the MSRP, the discount rate, and then the promo price. So whenever we'll sort this by the discount rate descending, because it's easy to see now, whenever there's a 0 discount rate, the MSRP should be equal to the promo price, which you can see here, 15 to 15, 25, 25, so on and so forth. So that works. The else is working. Now we'll take our handy dandy calculator and push it against some of these values, MSRP versus the promo price, right? So give me 1 second. Alright, so now we've got our calculator, and we're gonna say, let's run this highlighted line. We've got our $60 MSRP against the 15% promo discount rate, and it says the output or the promo price is $51. So what we'll do is we'll do 60 times, we know 1 minus the 0.15 is 0.85, so 85%, right? So 60 at 85% should be 51. Money in the bank. Let's try the 275. So this wireless vacuum, $275 regular price against a 10% discount, or effectively a 90% full price. We're gonna do 275 times 0.90. So 275 times 0.90 is 247.5. So if we check against our handy dandy calculator, we're going to see 247.5. So far it looks like our math is pretty good. Just for sanity's sake, let's check one more, right? Because I know a lot of, what did I do? I know a lot of you are paranoid, just as I am, that sometimes the programs don't do exactly what we want them to. So now we're going to do the 350 times, if the discount rate is 5%, then effectively it's a 95% price. We should get 332.5. That's exactly what we're getting. So now we're good. Our second step of calculating the promo price, if a promo rate is available, is coming through exactly as we want. When there's a promo rate available, give us the promo price. Otherwise, give us our regular price, or the MSRP, sorry. Alright, so now the third step, where we get a bit more involved, where we're going to throw in an AND into the logic, is calculate the promo price if there's a promo rate available and we have more than 4 weeks supply, let's say in your retail setting you want a minimum level of inventory to be available to be able to promo or retail it or promo a product or whatever, right? Because that's how it works in the retail world. You take a few various factors into account. But anyways, we don't have to add in another column expressions, right? What we can do, as you might have noticed earlier, the plus sign, we can actually keep this promo price that we already calculated. We can just add another calculation or logical conditional math within the same expression. So just a heads up, because I've gotten asked this before and I've tried it out myself. You can't actually, right, if you've got this promo price calculated within this expression node, you can't say, let's say we call this next field, step number 3, the promo price, and we'll say WOS based on week supply. You can't actually call this promo price or expression or condition, can't call it into this new expression. You can't do that unless you already have it as a column within the data table. That's the only limitation so far, based off of my, I wouldn't say limited, but based off of my, I'm not a pro, I would say like novice to like amateur. I don't know what the spectrum is, but it's the only limitation so far that I have with the column expression node. But it's honestly, given all the power that it gives you, conditional math, it's like not barely a limitation within itself. But anyways, just something to keep an eye out for, or a heads up in case you come across that question in your work. So anyways, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the condition with an and involved in it. And I'll show you how to do an and, then I'll do an or. I won't show you the or all the way through, I'll just show you the syntax for it. So what we're going to do now is we can literally copy this, right? This current expression, because it's almost there, but not exactly. But we'll copy it and we'll just modify it to fit our not one condition now, but our 2 conditions. So what we're going to say is we want there to be a promo price available or promo rate available, and then also week supply to be greater than 4. So within your if statement, you're going to want to say the current, which is there a discount rate available, right? And then to say and, you don't spell out and, right? You'll know when Knime is catching your expression when the text comes as blue. You see how it's blue font in this else? The and isn't. So that's not an actual function that Knime recognizes within the column expression or within the JavaScript syntax. So what you want to do is you want to do a double ampersand. That is your and within the Java 8.0 syntax that works within Knime, at least. I'm not like a computer programmer, so I don't know if it works exactly and everything else. Rookie over here, right? I just do reporting and data analysis. So we'll do this double ampersand as the and then we just feed it the next condition that we want to meet. So we'll say if the promotional discount rate is greater than 0, aka it's present, and we'll say the week supply is greater than 4, then give me the promo price. If these 2 conditions aren't met, if they're both not met, because the and means both, right? Both have to be met. If that's not the case, then we'll revert back to the MSRP, the retail price of the regular price. If you wanted to toggle and say or, so you want either of the conditions to be met in order to calculate the promo price or a particular formula, the or is actually the 2 straight lines, like the tube or whatever people, I don't know what people call this. I'm not like professional with it, I'll be honest with you. This, like these 2 tubes, or this tube is the or. So what this says is if the promotional discount rate is greater than 0 or the week supply is greater than 4, then you calculate the promo price or whatever is within this curly bracket. Otherwise, give me what's within this curly bracket. So this is the or, and then the and is the double ampersand. So if you wanted to do, let's say for example, you wanted to do an or and an and, it all comes down to how you structure your parentheses. And I'm sure you guys, if you've worked with SQL or with Excel, you know your parentheses, it's almost like PEMDAS, like your order of operation is very important in that case. So let's say for example we wanted to calculate meet these two. If you meet these two conditions, this and this, or if you meet this one other condition, right, then you do the output in this squiggly bracket. You would add a parentheses around this entire statement, and then you would do your or, and then whatever your other statement was, because then you've got, if you've got these two or you got this, and that counts, right? So that's how you would do a bit more complex calculation. But in this video, we don't want to do that complexity. Although I've shown you, if you do want to do that complexity, this is how you run with it, right? So let's push this through. We're going to say if the promotional discount rate is greater than 0 and then the week's supply is greater than 4, give us the promo price. Otherwise, give us the regular price. Again, we can hit that evaluate to see if something actually pops out or if an error pops up. We're good to go. It evaluated. So now we can hit apply, hit OK, and now we've got our two distinct expressions calculating within the same conditional math or column expression node. Only thing is, rookie move, I forgot to change this. I don't want a string as an output. I want an actual number, a double, not an integer. So we'll hit apply, hit OK. We'll execute, and now we can audit this and make sure our output is what we want, right? So now we've got this MSRP is column of interest, the promo rate. Now also the week's supply is a column of interest, and then our promo price, which is the original one we calculated, and now our promo price with the week supply being factored in as another condition. So we'll sort this again by promotional discount rate descending, because we know all the zeros should be MSRP equal to the promo price, or the promo price week supply. And you can see across that's the case. So we're good on that end. So now we should just see a few of these calculating. We'll see this promo price calculate on everything, whereas the promo price shouldn't calculate on some of these, because now the conditions are more stringent. You're instead of saying take the pie and reduce it to this much, now you're reducing it to this much, right? So you're being even more stringent. So we should see some of these promo prices not be promo prices once we look at the week supply condition. And the way we do that is we'll look for the week supply where it's 4 or less, right? So this week supply 3, week supply 2, 5 is good, it's greater than 4, right? So these two lines, the promo price week supply should be equal to the MSRP. So the 350 to the 350, that looks right, whereas the less stringent conditions actually calculate a promo price at 332.5. Same with this line up here. The MSRP is 15, the discount rate is 12%. So the promo price based on that discount rate is $13.20. But when you factor in a condition of week supply, where here it's only 2, it's not greater than our 4 threshold, which we arbitrarily made up in this example. Because it didn't meet that condition, the promo price isn't $13.20. It's actually equal to the 15, which is our original price, which is our MSRP, right? So now we know that our conditional math is working. So that's like the beauty of the column expression in conditional math. You almost start like, to me it's like modeling, right? You've got this data, and when you meet certain criteria, you calculate an output. When another criteria isn't met, then you do another output, right? So let's say, for example, we want to get a bit more in depth, and we say if the promotional discount rate greater than 0 and the week supply is greater than 4, you could add in another else if, feed it your criteria, and then you give the output based on that criteria, right? And then you could go to your else. So you can keep adding in more and more logic, right? Where the logic starts to get chopped up into finer pieces, all within here. And it would all calculate. It would go through the steps. What's met, what isn't met. Given that, I do this. If not, I do that. Like, that's the beauty of conditional math and the column expressions node within Knime. My opinion. A few more things that you can do is within this function. I didn't go through it, but you've got, like, you know, if it's a true or if it's a false, you've got all these other functions that you can work with, which we haven't even gone through yet, but that you can include, right? Like the floor. If like you meet the floor of a certain column or whatever it is, like you can throw that type of stuff in there, right? Or if the length of the string is a particular length or greater, you can add it in so that it does something based off of that, right? That there's so much possibility and flexibility within this one single node. When I first figured it out and started working with it, I was like mind blown. So I'll leave that to you guys. I know we're like 22 minutes deep now. Go to town. This is the node that is like my favorite. So if you guys have any questions, we went through the 3 steps. Any comments, drop it in the comments. Any questions as well in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, share this with your friends. Any friends that are, you know, they're powerhouses in Excel, Power Query, whatever it is, and now they need something a little bit better. Knime is a lot bit better. So tell them about this. All right, send them my videos. Let them know the possibility and the power that this program has. I'll catch you guys in the next video.